Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the India Funding Online Summit 2020. Here we have the talk on mindset, opportunities, innovation, and strategies for social enterprises. We have Mr. S.P. Singh, the CEO for SIDBI Venture Capital, who would be on the panel, and we have Dr. Nikhil Agarwal as the moderator.
Hello, everybody.
Dr. Nikhil Agarwal is currently the CEO of the Incubation and Innovation Center at IIT Kanpur. He's completed his PhD from University of Edinburgh, a Cambridge Fellow. He spent a lot of time with the government departments in the innovation societies of Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and has also been advisors to various corporations like FICCI. Um, Dr. Nikhil has played a major role in the Impact Summit, has Impact moderated a lot of sessions, and this is day three, and we have Dr. Nikhil again. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Shreya. So glad to be back today on the day three. I know many of our viewers must be working hard for the last 3 days and listening to so many panels and digesting such a vast amount of information which is coming in from all across. But I can guarantee that today's session will be as interesting as the past one. In fact, today we have the one of the most important person with us in venture capital space, uh, and still the person who has some money in his pocket to give away. So certainly, a lot of people would like to hear Mr. S.P. Singh. Before I introduce Mr. S.P. Singh, I would like to convey a message from Mr. Rajgopal Devada, who is the Principal Secretary, Government of Maharashtra in Finance. Unfortunately, Mr. Devada has to go out of Mumbai for very urgent government work. And he called me in the morning and he said, unfortunately, he is not able to come, but he would be, and he has conveyed to me, he will be more delighted for any communication or any questions which is coming from any of the entrepreneurs or startups. And he said that Maharashtra government is continuously working and coming up with the ideas and strategies so that they can support businesses, MSME, SMEs, and startups. And I shared with him that Mr. SP Singh is already there. So he said certainly SIDBI, we host SIDBI's office in Mumbai. So we work very closely with SIDBI. So some of the ideas Mr. Singh can also share. So Mr. S.P. Singh is the part of a small development industrial bank, development bank of India. There is a separate venture arm of SIDBI Venture Capital, which is based out of New Delhi. Though the SIDBI is headquartered in Lucknow, but majority of the activities for SIDBI happens in Delhi and Mumbai. And incidentally, Mr. Singh, you will be very delighted to know that we are the oldest incubator which is supported by SIDBI. 20 years back, SIDBI has given us some money, which eventually become the SIDBI Center for Innovation and Incubation at IIT Kanpur. The office that which I sit at IIT Kanpur is known as SIDBI building. So there is a very, very deep, 2 decade old association we have with SIDBI. Still, we work very closely with SIDBI and with their grant. So we are thankful that you are able to make it today. Uh, so today's conversation, since Mr. Devada is not there, so rather than moderated, I think it will be a more conversation between you and me. Uh, uh, I'm sure our audience are also quite keen to learn more about what is going on about in venture capital stage. There are certain questions which I have prepared. I will ask you related to SIDBI and what role SIDBI is playing, what the government is thinking in bringing the startup back on the track. Let me share some statistics with you. Last year, there was a survey which was done that the venture capital investment in India is increasing. That was very heartening to see. And at IIT Kanpur, we can also say that a number of our companies got funded. At the beginning of COVID, we started talking to our companies and realized that they are squeezed. Recently, there was a survey done which says only 3 to 6 months. Majority of the companies does not have a cash for survive more than 3 to 6 months. If you look at the social enterprise uh, social enterprises, they are facing the same challenges. They are not able to survive any longer. But there are a number of companies which have come up and fought this COVID challenge, and they are able to come up and they are able to provide number of solutions. In IIT Kanpur, we can say there are a couple of companies like Noka Robotics, Quipro Healthtech, eSpin Technologies. They have done phenomenal job. Uh, Nobody less than the prime minister himself tweeted about some of these, and these companies are raising money and people are willing to invest. So one of the things which I have seen in the last few months is the companies and startups which have a grit and which have a commitment to do something, they are the ones which are succeeding. Now coming back to SIDBI, my request to Mrs. Singh would be to share what is the structure of SIDBI and how the SIDBI venture fund plays into that. It will be very useful for a lot of people to understand this complicated structure. Over to you, Mr. Singh.
Okay. Thank you, Nikhil. Very nice to join this webinar. And I thank the organizers and to you to introduce to me. In the beginning itself, I would like to correct one thing, that I'm based out of Mumbai. In fact, this SIDBI Venture Capital Limited is based out of Mumbai, not New Delhi. So I think that has been, because initially I was the regional in charge at New Delhi. So I think mistakenly that has come. The second important factor, that we are proud to be associated with IIT Kanpur. And you will be happy to know that when this assistance was extended to IIT Kanpur for establishing this center, I was posted in Lucknow and I was instrumental in preparing all those background things, because at that point in time I was a junior officer working in Lucknow. And I have visited your center at least not less than some 4 or 5 times. And we had tried to bring KFW also there to support the entire ecosystem. So, with this brief background, now I'll be coming directly to first, the last question which you raised, and thereafter we'll be discussing the structure of SIDBI and the structure of SVCL. SIDBI, as you all must be knowing, that Small Industries Development Bank of India. This is the apex financial institution promoted by Government of India under an act passed by Parliament. And we are the apex institution for financing, promotion, and development of micro, small, and medium enterprises in the country. And all I think listeners must be happy to note that there was a lot of debate going on around the definition of MSME, which was governed by the MSMED Act 2006. Now, Government of India has already notified, and now the definition has been revised. And medium enterprises can be up to, wherever there is investment up to rupees 50 crore or the turnover up to rupees 200 crore. So now the canvas of micro, small, and medium enterprises have been expanded a lot. So now the domain has increased much larger to work with as far as the SIDBI is concerned. You can, I take this pride that you will be happy to know that how much faith Government of India has in SIDBI, that during this COVID, all those new schemes which Government of India has launched to facilitate MSMEs, to name a few, I would like to take before you is that initially they launched a liquidity funding scheme where 15,000 crore was allocated to SIDBI, which was to be extended to MSME units, non-banking financial companies, small finance banks, MFIs, to ease out their liquidity, which has been strained due to the COVID-19 lockdown and other things. That scheme is being successfully implemented by SIDBI. The second most significant scheme which Government of India launched, 3 lakh crore, the emergency credit guarantee scheme. Again, that is being implemented by SIDBI. We have a trust, National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company, NCGTC. So this 3 lakh crore is being extended to all those MSMEs which were working and their account was not SMA2, means where the overdue is less than 60 days. All those units with whichever bank they were banking, 20% of their outstanding credit as on 29th February all banks are extending without any guarantee, without any collateral, and without any other third-party guarantee. And this entire loan is being secured by the guarantee issued by NCGTC, where the government of India is holding the entire stake. So now that is the second important scheme which right now SIDBI is doing. The third important thing which government of India has launched now, that 20,000 crore startup fund which they have launched, and they are targeting that it will be leveraging some 50,000 crore capital infusion to the startup and the MSMEs. The details of this scheme is yet to come. Further, another 20,000 crore government of India has committed for those MSMEs which are under stress to be extended by way of sub-debt. So what happened? Why this mezzanine product government of India has come? That many companies during this period have turned NPA. So now these companies cannot be funded in the normal banking course or the conventional banking products. So government of India has launched this scheme where these companies which have turned NPA, they will be extended this mezzanine product by way of a subordinated debt, where will the longer moratorium period will be given 3 to 4 years, and thereafter in another 3 to 4 years the repayment in monthly installments. So what will happen? This will give an opportunity to such MSMEs which are facing stress to stabilize their cash flows in the initial period of 3-4 years, and maybe many companies may revive tomorrow. So these are some of the new schemes which government of India has come out, and SIDBI is implementing these schemes successfully and to the satisfaction of the entire MSME ecosystem in the country, because we are working with almost all the public, private, small finance bank, and then with all the MFIs and non-banking financial companies to facilitate that the credit flow to MSME sector should not be hindered at any cost. So what we are doing right now to sum up this particular aspect is that we have been extending refinancing assistance to all these PLIs, what we call primary lending institutions, to augment their lendable resources to on-lend to the MSMEs. Second, those MSMEs which are affected on account of this COVID-19, they should not suffer because of lack of collateral or any other thing. So guarantee scheme is already there. So those companies which are facing crunch in terms of leveraging themselves, so equity assistance is being extended. So a host of services under one umbrella SIDBI is trying to give to the MSME system. And if you see the conventional, these are the latest schemes which SIDBI has launched. If you see the conventional operations of SIDBI, so SIDBI has been basically focusing into 3 areas. The first is refinancing activity, the second is direct financing activity, and third is the promotion and development activities. Refinancing is the core business of SIDBI, and 95% our portfolio belongs to refinancing. Another 5% portfolio belongs to the direct lending. We are having approximately 100 branches all across the country, and through these 100 branches we have been helping the MSME units by way of term loan and working capital in different clusters. And promotion and developmental activities, it's a huge activity under SIDBI, wherein what we are doing, the entrepreneurial ability generation is the core function under this promotion and developmental activities. What we have been doing that under the aspirational districts, 115 districts which government of India had identified, massive programs are being run by SIDBI, because these are the 115 aspirational districts where the financial penetration has been lower. The simple reason is that the MFIs and the non-banking financial companies are not moving to these aspirational districts because the cost of acquisition of customer is very high. So nobody wants to spend that amount of money initially, and that is the basically, if you will see the developmental economics, what you will find, the underdevelopment suffers because of underdevelopment, because it is underdeveloped, so nobody wants to move in that areas, and the area remains underdeveloped. So what SIDBI has done, we organized multiple programs in these aspirational districts. Even we took up the matter with Reserve Bank of India and Government of India for the differential financing or differential cost financing into these areas, and massive entrepreneurship development program is ongoing in the country. And we have tied up with leading like Usha Silai School and all that. Thousands of women have been empowered through providing them technical skill. with certification. So what happens, that has enhanced their employability and also promoting them for self-employment. So these kind of programs are being organized by SIDBI all across the country, and it is doing very well. To just conclude about SIDBI, we are having a balance sheet of approximately 1,90,000 crore today, generating a net profit of approximately 2,400 crore. So that's the strength of the balance sheet of SIDBI. That's the strength of the operational capabilities which SIDBI has developed. That's the expertise which SIDBI has developed in the field of micro, small and medium enterprises. Now coming to SVCL in brief. SVCL is a 100% owned subsidiary of SIDBI. This was promoted way back in 1999. So we are among one of the oldest venture capital companies in the country promoted by any public sector entity. So far in past 20 years, SVCL has managed 7 funds, and these funds have been highly successful funds. The first fund was launched way back in 2000, what we call the National Fund for Information and Software Technology, NFSIT. This was promoted by Ministry of Technology that point in time, and it was a highly successful program. And subsequently, there have been 6 other funds which have been launched, and 3 funds are currently in the investment stage. One of them is promoted by the government of Maharashtra. Today, Mr. Raj Gopalan is not there, and Nikhil, I'll request that you convey my regards to him and best wishes to him for supporting this program. We are having a fund of 117 crore supported by government of Maharashtra, SIDBI and LIC. This is a social venture fund. And it is doing exceedingly well. Under SVCL, what we have been doing, generally we have been funding to those early stage and growth stage startup companies in the country. While the NFSIT was basically dedicated towards information technology and software, the remaining 6 funds have been sector agnostic. And these sector agnostic funds, we have been funding the units all across the sector in entire country, except those funds which were specifically promoted by the state governments, like Maharashtra State Social Venture Fund. This must have some linkage to the state of Maharashtra. This is currently under investment phase, and we are investing into new company. I'm happy to share with you, for the benefit of the audience, now 2 new funds we have launched. One is the New Horizons Fund. This New Horizon Fund has been launched. We have got a commitment of 150 crore as of now. Registration with SEBI as a category 1 AIF has already been obtained. Commitment of 150 crore we have already got. This is a fund of 500 crore plus green shoe option of 250 crore. This is a sector agnostic fund all across the country with major focus on the consumption and consumption enabling technologies. So we are currently in the fundraising mode, and we have approached multiple institutions, but fundraising process is a long drawn process, and it takes many meetings, then convincing the investor to come forward, and then so it's a very, very tedious job. We are moving very satisfactorily, and hope that by July end this fund will be available for investment. By that time, we are quite sure that we shall be able to close this fund in terms of commitments from the institutions, and thereafter we will take it forward. The second fund which we are launching, where the registration with is still the preparation of documents and all that. Just I would like to take just a few minutes that this whole process of forming the AIF, Alternative Investment Fund, that is the regulation of SEBI 2012, under which now new funds are governed. It's a very, very papersome job. Many papers we have to prepare. We have to prepare the private place memorandum, and then trust indenture, and then registration. You have to go so many. Very, very tedious and very long run process. So that we are currently underway. But I think audience will be happy to know that Honorable Finance Minister, while presenting the budget for 2021, she has announced, if you recall, Ubharte Sitare program. This was a program oriented towards promoting such units which are doing export from the country, are those which are trying to come in the export sector. What is intended under this fund is that we have to create ubharte sitare, means the emerging stars. The company which is doing it, say export of 100 crore, how we can take them to 500 crore, 1000 crore. The company which is not there in the export sector, what capabilities we have to generate in them to take this to the next level. So this is a Ubharte Sitare program, which is a combination of three major things. The first thing is that there will be a 500 crore fund for investing by way of equity and equity-like products in companies. Then this will be supported by the lenders by way of debt also to leverage and enhance your production capacity. And third, there will be a grant program under this program, which will be supported to the investee companies by way of hand-holding and developing their technical capabilities to meet those challenges which the export sector is facing. So this is a very comprehensive program combining three things in one. There will be equity investment, there will be debt available as per the estimated requirement, and there will be a technical support also to support, to handhold, to develop your intrinsic capabilities to tap this market. So this fund is also under the process, and we are sure we are targeting that by August this fund will be available for investment. So with these two funds, now SVCL will be one of the leaders in the MSME segment, and all these funds will be promoting to the mid-sized companies, basically early stage and the growth companies which are looking forward to go to the next level. So in brief, that's the introduction of SVCL. So far we have managed 1,800 crore, and if we are taking these 750 crore plus 500 crore, again 1,250 crore, so approximately 3,500 crore SVCLs have been managed in past 20 years. So that is the brief about the SVCL. Now I hope I have time to go ahead, or
I have a couple of questions. What you have said, and then I'll ask you.
Just before the question, just one thing I would like to address what you had raised in the beginning. Maybe if that is in question, I would like to address it separately. That the companies which are facing problem regarding their runway at present is their cash balances, which is hardly sufficient to 3 to 6 months. SIDBI has already launched a program with a dedicated corpus of 100 crore, where when we are giving assistance up to ₹2 crore by way of venture debt to startup companies to support their runway, to expand their runway beyond what they are having. Right? This program is already underway. We have already sanctioned up to approximately some 20-22 companies, and many more are coming, we are considering. With this, now over to you. Whatever questions you are having, I would love to address.
So certainly, I think that was one of my questions, like if you can give more details about this particular fund. And many of the companies, in fact, I was there in the panel yesterday, and number of people asked that how do we survive for not only for 3 to 6 months time, but for 2, 3 to 4 years time. That is very, very direct question. With me on the panel was the Rashri Natarajan. She is the Cognizant Foundation CEO, and she also said the same thing. So one of the questions which I have is that the SIDBI, when they manage the funds, do they manage directly? Is the investment happens in the companies directly? One, in the form of debt or in form of equity. Second, can you also throw the light on the fund of funds that you manage on behalf of various ministries or your own? I understand there is a technology electronic fund of funds which is there. There is another 10,000 crore from DPIIT, a fund of funds which you are giving into daughter funds, and then further investment is happening. So how does it work? How the companies can get involved in that?
Thank you, Nikhil. You see that the venture capital operations in SIDBI has two set of things. The first is the fund of fund operations, where the government of India earlier had committed 20,000 crore. Now you would have seen the UP government has also launched a fund of fund operation of 1,000 crore. Again, that is being managed by SIDBI. The new scheme which government of India is coming up, I hope that may also come to SIDBI. So the fund of fund operation works in a particular specific fashion. What happened under fund of fund operations? basically the corpus support is extended to the venture capital company as the alternative investment funds. VCFs and AIFs apply for getting support out of the fund of funds, and then that fund of funds are sanctioned to the AIF and the VCF company. And what the new funds which they form, that has generally in India, that is the practice, would be having a life of 10 years with the commitment period of 4 to 5 years. And as and when these companies sanction to the ultimate companies, they draw the fund from the sanctioned amount out of the fund of fund operation. So fund of fund operations is basically a type of resource support giving to the venture capital companies and AIFs for ultimately investing into the small companies. The second part of SIDBI operations of venture capital is the venture capital, SIDBI Venture Capital Limited, SVCL, where like any other AIF or VCF, we also draw fund from the fund of funds and other contributors, and then we invest in the ultimate startup, early stage and growth stage companies, right? So here generally we have been investing into the actual ground level companies, those who are at the early stage or the growth stage, right? So this fund, what we have been managing as of now is being invested, and the two new funds which are proposing, again it will be available to the ultimate units for investment. I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. So thanks a lot. I think that answers the question. The another question which is coming in, and it's a very relevant question. I think that's probably the hottest question for all of MSMEs and startup, is that certainly the government is announcing some great schemes. The Honorable Finance Minister has 20 lakh crore, some of which you are also talking about 3 lakh crore, which is available for MSME. Another 1,000 crore fund, which is now announced by the government. Maharashtra, you mentioned. Number of such schemes are there. So one of the questions which has just come, which is very, very important, is that how do poor MSME, particularly living in or working in a class C cities or the rural areas, unfortunately, they are not able to get enough information. The another challenge they face is that the long drawn application process. Is it true? It's a long drawn application process. And what is the method of selection? Certainly, I am talking on behalf of MSMEs. Number of times they say, because of government funds, so you need to have some jugaad. So you know somebody, then you can get it. Otherwise, people without any clout cannot get it. Is it true or not?
Nikhil, here I would like to dispel the unfounded thoughts among the entrepreneurs. Let me be very honest. I am doing banking since last 25 years, right? Trust me. You would have seen the statement. I would like to deal this question very elaborately so that the audience should get benefit, and this should be for you also. You would have seen that State Bank of India chairman, Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, he gave a statement just 2-3 days back that we have plenty of liquidity, but there should be right borrower. The two things in your question I would like to address separately. One, a normal conventional MSME funding problem, and a startup MSME funding problem. These are two separate things. These are absolutely two separate things. If you are a conventional MSME, means you are into ready-made garments, or you are manufacturing some component, or you are machining something, or so many other activities are there. If you are starting a company, that does not mean that company is a startup. Company qualifying startup means that this should be registered with DIPP. And the second important, that there should be some innovative aspect in the product or the process or the service which you are going to render. So the conventional MSME and the startup ecosystem works in a different fashion. A conventional MSME, I'm telling you, right now, you see, everything is online. As far as SIDBI is concerned, I'm just trying to tell you, the application is available on SIDBI website. You can fill the application, and loan in 59, PSB loan in 59 minutes, you would have heard. If you are a company, you are having your GST returns, you are having your income tax returns, the system automatically calculates and tells you that you are eligible for such and such loan. There is no need even to visit a bank branch. There's no need to even visit a bank branch, right? These government programs which are running, I'm telling you, as far as the bankers are concerned, the biggest thing is that many times promoters don't understand themselves. But I'm telling you, as a banker, the first question when we meet with a promoter and we ask them that what kind of plan you are having, what business you are doing, with your 5 minutes conversation, we make out whether you are a serious borrower, you are a serious entrepreneur, you have planned to take your business to the next level, or you are just seeking the debt for sake of debt. Many times promoters are not aware that what they are talking, unless otherwise, if a banker is convinced once that here is a project, here is a business which is having potential, he will run after you. He will run after you more than you. He will contact you to lend to you. This is the condition in the market. So this kind of thought process should not be there in people's mind, that unless otherwise some jugaad is there or some corrupt element is there, you will not get loan. That is totally grossly, I'm telling you, I have never come across in such a position. So what my suggestion would be, and even to whom you are hand holding or guiding, a conventional MSME is simply just he should have the balance sheet in his hand. It should be a registered company, and if it is there, bank will run after you and they will give you assistance. As far as the startup ecosystem is concerned, that's again it altogether different ballgame. You know that startup works for a very long time in losses, and under startup you see there is a question of seeding. When you are in the idea stage, there should be some seeding. Unless otherwise that is there, you cannot grow. Seeding can still in India. Seeding is done by the friends, relatives, your own savings, something like that. As far as the seeding is concerned, that has not institutionalized at yet. The second stage comes when there is a angel investor. You have seeded the idea, now you have prototype, you have built, things have moved. Now some angel investor is coming, okay, I'll be holding some 20%, 25%. Are you agreeing? I'll be supporting. Then third stage comes where the roll-up and AIF and VCF comes like ours. Now your company has entered into revenue generation phase, incurring losses. But what we are seeing when you come to AIF or VCF, what we see, two major things, two most significant things in a startup company when a AIF or VCF sees. The first is that whether your business is scalable and sustainable.
Great.
Unless otherwise a business is scalable and sustainable, nobody is going to invest. The simple reason is that the investor sees that my money should get returned, and so I should also ensure a suitable return to my investor. And the second important thing is that the person who is going to run that startup and the business, what kind of business acumen and understanding of the product and the sector he is having. These are the two most significant things we as a venture capitalist see when we discuss a promoter to fund a startup, right? So that's where the problem comes. Basically, I would like to share an example with you. I had MIT University invited me for a venture capital conclave for a startup. It was a huge conclave. I went there. So a boy came and they were supporting very hugely to that boy. He came across to me. Sir, I have developed an app. What is that app? सब कुत्ता घुमाने का मेरा ऐप है. So कैसे काम करेगा? Sir, those people, those who are working husband, wife, they have a pet. So what will happen? So many other things. I asked simply a question. How much revenue you are looking forward 5 years down the line? So what happens? These kind of ideas will never take through. These kind of ideas will never. Yes, the moment we will see it here, you see, just 15 days back, I received a call from his district Sultanpur in Uttar Pradesh. A boy in a village. कि साहब मैं जो है वो KNI से बीटेक किया हूं और मैंने बहुत सारे ऐप डेवलप किए हुए हैं, now I need funding. So I patiently heard him, patiently asked questions. Trust me, not a single question he could properly reply that what kind of revenue stream he is looking forward. Why a person would like to invest a crores of rupees in him when tomorrow your business cannot grow to more than a few lakh rupees. So what you are going to gain and what you are going to give to your investor. So these kind of questions come. But I am telling you, as far as the genuine ideas are concerned, if you permit me, I would like to share a fantastic experience of my life, I was heading my Gurgaon branch, right? I was the branch in charge at Gurgaon. Four young boys from Ellen Mittal College, Jaipur. None of them were more than 25 years, right? They came to my office one day and they said, sir, हमने एक जो है वो develop किया हुआ. There was some software they had developed which was tracking in a telephone उससे related था. Because I am not a technical person, so I was not understanding the technicalities, but I was listening them, right? They had floated a company. They were having 1 lakh capital, 25,000 each they had contributed. So what happened? I was listening them, and they were, trust me, the AC was running and they were sweating. So passionately they were presenting their case. Sir, मुझे अगर 1 crore रुपया मिल जाए, so this venture will creating tremendous value. So I told, okay, you meet me after 1 week. So after 1 week again they came, and then again they started presentation, and again they were sweating in that AC. So what I am trying to tell you is, though I was not understanding the product so well, the technicalities, but I was seeing their passion, that these boys, the kind of passion which they are having, they will never fail. So what I did, trust me, on 1 lakh capital, I gave 1 crore rupees sanction without any collateral, without any third party guarantee, without any business.
Very nice.
Just imagine what happened. My head office asked me, what you are doing, man? This 1 crore rupees is going to drain. हमने कहा, sir, I'll be responsible. I have taken a call, I'll be investing. So I put the condition with these boys कि हम इसका disbursement जो है 10 लाख करके करेंगे after seeing the progress. So they pleaded with me, sir, 25 lakh कर दीजिए, otherwise ये हो जाएगा. Then 3 years down the line, Nikhil, can you imagine? That company was bought by a silicon-based company in 30 crore rupees.
Very nice.
And we made an IRR of 40%, trust me, within 3 years. And today I'm proud of those boys. I introduced him to Niti Aayog. I introduced him to DIPP, simply because the idea which they had brought was scalable, it was sellable, and that's what exactly they did. So what happened that a banker, is a professional body, and I'm telling you, as far as the funding of a startup is concerned, that is altogether a different ball game. The conventional banking doesn't want to enter into that because the bankers have the tremendous accountability. So the business which they don't understand, they don't do. They have to, these startups has to be funded in a different fashion, and the conventional MSMEs are in a different fashion. The thing is that you have to understand, the thing is that you may think that your business is good, but unless otherwise you are able to convince the investor that my business is good, you will not get money.
So thanks a lot for clarifying those things. And I can tell you, sir, we are having more than 100 companies with us, and we raised a lot of money from CDB and other venture company. And I don't think I can guarantee, and I can tell them on behalf, nowhere the jugaad has worked. The only one thing is merit. I absolutely agree with you. And I think that will also clarify the questions of a lot of young people who are already there, who are asking, we are not able to get any support because we don't know anybody. You may not know anybody, but if you have a great idea, as Mr. Singh has said, if you have ability to sweat in AC, you will get the money.
Yes.
That ability, I think you should bring it. That is very important. I really like it. So one question has come from one social entrepreneur. Since this conference is also done from Maharashtra, so I think she must be from Maharashtra. She is asking, sir, can you repeat the name of the scheme Maharashtra government has, and where we can get more details?
No, this is a scheme implemented by SVCL, Maharashtra State Social Venture Fund. So you may approach SVCL, right? SVCL, you can write a mail at my mail ID, ceo@sidbiventure.co.in, right? And my fund manager will get in touch with you.
Okay. I think now Abhijit has already said that there is an end of session. The people who are connected with laptop can raise their hands, and they can ask the direct question to Mr. Singh about any questions that they have. Meanwhile, these questions coming in. Okay, so there is one more question has come. Can you throw some light on the process of applying? Being a government process, it is a very long one. I think that has already been clarified by Mr. Singh. That's not a long process. It's a relatively easier process.
Just a small thing. Just a small thing. Equity investment always takes longer period than debt. The simple reason is because when we do equity investment, we undertake a lot of due diligence on the promoter and the company. So that due diligence process takes a lot of time. So there I agree that will be slightly different than debt.
But at the same time, one advice I want to give to other MSME people, like we are based out of Kanpur, and there is a Kanpur, you know that it is a Makkah of MSMEs in the country. But I absolutely agree what you have said. Like a lot of people have started the business for various reasons. One reason was that there is some capital available in the home and say कि को धंधा करना है. Then the existing business which is going on from legacy time, and they have modified a little bit, they have modernized a little bit and gone forward. But what they have not done is to prepare a business plan for 3 to 5 years time, that how they want to grow and what they want to do. That is very important. Your existing knowledge may not be enough in the current situation to go further. So more than existing knowledge, like just not like I have been doing business for 50 years, that does not mean that you will keep on doing business for next 5 years. Let me give an example. There was a recent article which has come in the US browsers. If you look at the 100 years of history, the whole 20th century history, there are only very few 4 or 5 companies which have survived the American browser. Ford is one of them, IBM is one of them. Majority of the companies have folded down. And if we look at this, the IT sector, I was speaking to Mr. Ajay Chaudhary, who is the founder of HCL. He was giving a keynote. I was moderating with it, and he told us that he joined the DCM data system in 1972. At that time, DCM data system was one of the biggest companies. Now, if you look at the DCM data system 1972, today it should be bigger than TCS. But where is DCM data system? Probably most of the young people have not even heard about it. So number of such companies have folded down because they were not able to foresee the challenges which they have faced. And the companies like IBM and companies like TCS are still able to do business because there is a potential to do it. Now, another recent example comes in about the Kodak. Now, everybody has seen that Kodak was the largest. It was having 95% of the share of the camera market, and it was an opportunity. It's not the case that Kodak never got an opportunity to get into the phones, because the phone has replaced the camera. They got this opportunity in the middle of 90s. They said, no, it is not worthy of doing it, because camera is here to stay. Phone is to make calls. Camera is to click pictures. But in 10 years down the line, the situation becomes different. The camera and the phone remain same. So you have to continuously start thinking. You have to remodel your business. What today has happened, it's an unprecedented situation. Now you don't have time to remodel your business for next 1 year or 6 months. You have to do it now. You have to start talking to your mentors, start talking to your business advisors, and say that what else we can be done. There is a demand for everything. I can tell you, I have been in touch with 4 or 5 companies which have raised money in the last 3 months' time. Not only they are providing COVID-related situation, but they are remodeling their business. They are coming into education. They are coming into healthcare. They are coming into like there is one company which I know which is saying that how do you work from home more positively. There are furniture companies are doing roaring business now. You'll be surprised to know, because they are able to remodel their business. They are not selling furniture for commercial establishment. Now they are selling furniture for homes. So there is an opportunity to remodel and rethink about your business. And if your business is sustainable, if your business is robust, foundations and organizations like SIDBI Venture will come. There is enough liquidity in market. I think I will pick up what the Mr. Singh has said, and it is certified by no other than the chairman of SBI. There is enough liquidity in market. No, they are not enough takers. You don't have to go to bank to become a cry baby. You have to become a smile baby, and you need to learn how to sweat in the AC. Then you only get the money. So one last word from Mr. Singh, and then we can wind up the session.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you. And once again, I would like to assure all people, you see, believe in yourself. The biggest problem which Indian businesses are facing is just 5 minutes, Nikhil. I think we will be over starting. I had gone to Japan once. So what happened that there was a whole lot of delegation, and we were discussing across the energy efficient technologies. So I asked the person that why don't you ensure technology transfer rather than these buying and selling? And the sentence which was used by them in Japanese and translated into English to us is really noteworthy. He told, जो इंडियंस है ना वो बड़े चालू होते हैं. तो आप कहने का मतलब क्या हुआ? The first important thing is I'm telling you, in my 25 years of banking career, 10 years I have spent in treasury, dealing with forex and other things, and 10 years into credit and other side. A business should always be started with a poised mind, and the only objective should be that this business is going to be my identity in the coming period. If with this vision and this thought you are starting a business, you are definitely going to succeed. The problem is that many people are starting business for the sake of business, and these lakhs of crores of NPAs which are lying in the banking is not simple mere failure of the business. So the time has changed. We have to compete in the world. Our government is very serious to that. Perhaps we have to bring in ourselves a perceptional and I think a thorough character change, and that will make us success. Trust it. Wherever you go, if you are not satisfied with the junior officer attending your queries, never hesitate meeting the top people, because good people are there. They will listen you and they will try to address you. Be positive, remain active.
Remain active. That's what I think the mantra for today. I know it is a Saturday. You must be thinking of going and watching Netflix. Please don't do that. Go and think about your business, what you have to do. Every day is the same day now. So all 7 days are same. We are all working hard. And with this, I would like to thank Miraculous. I would like to thank Abhijit. I would like to thank Shreya. And on top of it, I would like to thank Mr. SP Singh for, first of all, supporting IIT Kanpur. And I didn't know about this history. Now I will, next time, whenever we is possible, either in Lucknow or Kanpur or Mumbai, we will go meet and hear about that, how that happened. Because I would be very learn about
Nikhil, I belong to UP and I want to fund new startups in UP. Right?
Very nice.
So whenever you come across, please do let me know. All support from my side all the time.
Thanks a lot. And I can tell you, sir, 4 days back, we were having a close conversation with Siddharth Nath Singh. Exactly, he said the same thing. He said, you tell us the problem and we are here to give you a solution. I think this is the continuous message we are hearing from the government agencies, and that give us a great zeal of support, and incubators like us which are supporting companies. And that's what I was saying, that I hear more than 100 companies every now and then. Many of them are facing a challenge, but many of them are also succeeding. So there is a time to think positively and move forward. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot for organizing Barclays, and thanks a lot. See you soon.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.